Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. Update: wife of 6 years destroyed our marriage for ex-boyfriend. Original post: what a crazy train ride it has been. I'm 33 and currently going through a painful divorce and thought I should share my story to help process the numbness and loss I feel and evaluate how this train wreck occurred. Me and my wife were co-workers for a time 9 years ago. From the time we met, we were extremely attracted to each other, sparks flew, and we hit it off immediately. I dated around a good amount in my younger 20s, but there was something different with her that made me feel safe and happy. After several years of dating and living with each other, we decided to get married. I remember even at the time I proposed that it didn't feel right. We had an open relationship, mostly because of her wanting that lifestyle, and unfortunately went along for that ride. Never marry in a polyamorous relationship. Things definitely started shifting right after our marriage. With our open marriage, we set the boundary that we would only have fun with mutual friends and talk about agreements beforehand. Right before we bought our home, my wife admitted she spent a night with her ex-boyfriend and also later revealed there was no protection. I was devastated. That's where all the trust evaporated overnight. And even though I still loved her, I didn't feel respected anymore. I decided to put the house solely in my name. We bought the home when we were married, but this comes into play later in our divorce proceeding. I continued to progress in my career and being the breadwinner and thought my wife was happy. Slowly but surely the bedroom fun started to feel like a chore and could tell she was checking out. I should also mention my wife had a very high body count of men previous to our relationship. 2 years ago, right after the pandemic started, she pulled the rug from under me and let me know she wanted to break away from me and she wasn't afraid providing for herself. She hired a spiritual coach and thought she could replicate that same amount of success right away. Fast forward to today, she is still struggling to launch her coaching business. Yo, being independent isn't so easy, right hun? Also doesn't feel very good with all the emasculation and treating me like garbage as I continued to financially support her. She deployed a lot of emotional manipulation to have me still provide and pay for her lifestyle. She convinced me to sleep in separate bedrooms. I did it to give her the space she said she needed. I really should have kicked her out of the house at that point. About a year ago, she reconnected with that ex-boyfriend she had the affair with. To add on to the misery I was already feeling, she decided to commit into a relationship with him even with us still married. Looking back, I feel completely disgusted with myself for not standing up for myself back then and continuing to allow it. She would often offer me affection and intimacy here and there to keep me ignorant of any of my dignity or self-respect, so I played along to earn any form of closeness with her. I was completely addicted and made her my world. The turning point was last spring after I took her to Hawaii for a week. It was my ultimate Hail Mary to win her back. We even did a couple's photo shoot professionally done and had a really great time together. However, I could tell she was still invested in her affair partner. Not even a day after we got back from the trip, she said she missed her affair partner. Again, I felt absolutely devastated that she would so easily cast away the time and energy we had just spent together. This is where I started to finally regain my dignity. I decided to play up to my image and try to walk away as unscathed as I could and divorce her. Not surprisingly, her and the boyfriend decided to move in together last summer. This is when I brought up to my wife that I wanted an uncontested divorce. She was ripe with feelings for her affair partner, so when I wrote out the stipulation that I'd receive the full equity on the house, my bank accounts, and retirement accounts, she agreed. I gave her a week to decide after another weekend of vacationing with her affair partner, and she signed the stipulation in front of a notary, and I filed it the same day. She ended up going out to the bar that night with her affair partner getting dolled up, and spending another intimate encounter with him, I guess in celebration. Yeah, I surely felt like a valued husband. 3 weeks after, my wife wasn't able to get housing with her affair partner as originally planned. Now understanding her predicament, she filed a motion with the court to dismiss our stipulation and go to mediation. Go figure. I then lawyered up and we had several hearings with the courts. My wife never hired an attorney. I believe she thought her spiritual leanings told her she didn't need any of that. Well, turns out she lost her case and tried filing an erroneous second motion with her newly hired attorneys and lost that too a few weeks ago. Now she's filed an objection to be heard by the judge. My lawyers are very confident the objection will also be denied, and the final divorce papers can then be signed. I've racked up about $10,000 of legal fees, but my wife also has a lot of fees too, and may even be able to ask for my fees to be paid if I win. But I will most likely elect to pay my own anyway. Edit. Also, I should add in the second motion she filed with her attorneys that she made up lies about me coercing and lying to her. Things like I told her to not hire a lawyer because it was too expensive. The commissioner saw right through that BS and denied her, and hoped the judge does too. When my lawyer read through that motion with me, he said there is no chance at reconciliation. Also, the hearing before the judge just got scheduled for April 5th. The finish line is so close now. Writing this all out, it seems almost too absurd to be true. I'm trying to survive the present the best I can, staying focused in my career and trying to enjoy playing piano and my other hobbies to not think about this. It doesn't help that my wife gives me glimpses of wanting me back, but the past is just too painful for reconciliation. I know I can find another partner that loves me and respects me, but for the present moment I feel paralyzed and heartbroken over this journey. Ultimately, I just want to move on with my life, and maybe I'll laugh at it all looking back one day. The universe has an interesting way of unfolding. Hope that karma works as designed. Also, any suggestions on getting her out of the home? I feel like I can't kick her out legally unless we're officially divorced. She has mentioned to me many times she fears of me kicking her out. At the same time, she tells me she has other living arrangements planned, but nothing has ever materialized. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Yes, you will find someone who loves you once this is done. She is a manipulator. Once she loses in front of the judge and the reality of what happens sinks in, she will try to manipulate you again. Stay strong and go after her to pay your fees. 10K for the hurt she has caused you is nothing. Stay strong and remember, you took her to Hawaii, and less than one day back, she yearns for her affair partner. Tell her the spirits say she will get hers in the near future. Best of luck. Thanks. Yeah, I definitely let her manipulate me, no question. She is also a narcissist, so she's going to be angry if the judge decides to have her pay up. At least I know what's been missing in order to enjoy a fulfilling relationship, but will take a lot of work on myself first. Breaking away from the codependency is not easy. By the way, if the judge grants you attorney fees, take it. She has caused you such heartache. You owe her nothing. My advice, under no circumstances should you take her back. You must go no contact with her. Expunge her from your life. Also, never ever agree to an open relationship again. Good luck to you, and take what you have learned from your marriage to make a better life for yourself. Lesson learned seemed fun at the time, but no better than most the pain an open relationship can cause. I must say that I find all these spiritual coaches and books BS. Spirituality cannot be found in paper or some guru, but around you, in experiences, and in the most unexpected of places. As far as suggesting something to you, nope, you are doing everything right, and you must continue doing so. All the best. Yes, honestly, putting the affair and emotional mistreatment aside, I can't even bear thinking about integrating into her spirituality world. She's mentioned entity attachments to me to explain why she doesn't feel safe. Really, she's just bitter that things aren't going the way she thought they would. Now for the update. Hard to believe it's been 6 months already. I'm happy to report that I am officially divorced and starting to live my best life now. I still have moments of pain and loneliness hit me in waves thinking about the old versions of what we used to be, but overall, I'm starting to move past it. One of the realizations that has really helped me is truly accepting she didn't care about me the way I thought she did. She had her own level of delusions, but mine was being stuck on the idea that the chemistry and bond we had early on in the relationship was love. How could she have loved and truly cared with the level of disrespect given to me? I gave her everything financially, let her have full control of what to do in the home, yet she resents me for doing just that. And the fact I took her on vacation to Hawaii and she tricks me into thinking we were reconnecting, just to be with her ex a few days after the trip. Screw that. Back in April, we were supposed to have our hearing with the judge on her objection to the stipulation, and her lawyers ended up delaying it till June. At that point, I just wanted to move on even though I had an unlosable case, so ended up settling the case and giving her alimony for just a year, and $15,000 cash settlement. I kept the house, bank accounts, retirement accounts, which is about $300,000 in value. It was also stipulated she had to move out of the home once the divorce finalized in June. A part of me kind of wishes she would have left with absolutely nothing for what she did, but it is nice that it's completely over now though, and ended much better than the typical cash and prizes these women get away with. She ended up going back to the same ex-boyfriend, no surprises. That eats away at me sometimes, but then I also just feel so disgusted by her. Her ex has no job, no capability to earn money anytime soon since he had a severe spinal injury. She told me a few months back that she had some spiritual readings that we weren't meant to be with each other anymore because there's too much pain on my side. Right. I also got a new finance job in June that pushes me up to 6 figures, and she absolutely hated it when I told her that. One of the last things I told her was I hope she feels good about throwing it all away. Once the alimony dries up and she sees her route of being a spiritual life coach won't work out, we'll see how happy she actually is. If she comes knocking down my door, I most certainly won't be accepting her back ever. I'm deserving of a beautiful, loving relationship, and this is the lesson I needed to learn to appreciate what a good, nurturing relationship actually can be. Hope my story is helpful to anyone that feels like they're struggling breaking away. If she's coming back and knock on your door expecting to be accommodated, you need just to say that unfortunately you cannot be together because it's written in the stars. Haha, I should tell her that. My higher self says, you're not my twin flame, never was. That is superb. Tell her you had readings with a real spiritual advisor. And she said that there was too much pain on her side for reconciliation, and that it's just not in the stars for you to take her back. Because you are right, she will be back. Get a doorbell cam and never let her into your house, not even for a chat. The trash stays outside. Already done. Sunk cost fallacy, that's all it is. What you are missing is what you had invested in the relationship. You'll see this, and if you're a finance guy, it's no different than any other investment loss. At first you missed the money you lost, then you beat yourself up because, in hindsight, it was a dumb move. We all go through it. Just remember, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Absolutely sunk cost fallacy in play here. I had feelings of breaking away much earlier when she cheated on me the first time. I'm a slow learner, but I learn eventually. Now for the last story. My boyfriend is mourning the girl he cheated on me with. I have never been this depressed in my life. My 23 female boyfriend, 23 male, has been cheating on me for the last 5 years. I've always caught him, and he would be remorseful and do everything to try and make it work, but something changed this year and I guess he met someone he really likes. It started off as friends, but little did I know he was in the middle of setting the grounds for a relationship with her. I've noticed that lately he has been less emotionally available with me, and I attributed that to me doing something wrong. I often lean on him for support when I have issues, and he doesn't like that. So I've been working to try and learn to keep that stuff to myself and not burden him with it anymore. So I guess that's why it didn't click right then and there. Anyway, I found their conversation on his phone, and when I tell you my heart broke, it's an understatement. I saw the man I started dating 5 years ago in those texts. A man who is excited about this person, interested in their life and passions, sharing deep thoughts with that person, taking initiative to plan dates, and rushing to help out when anything is wrong. What broke my heart is that I've been searching for this person for months now, and I believed he didn't exist anymore. That hurt, but it's so much worse knowing he's still the same person, just not with me. Anyway, the story gets worse. So, when I confronted him about the texts, he didn't want to deal with it. He wanted to break up with me. That's new. He usually wants to work it out. Weird. So, I tell him since he doesn't want to explain, I'll go talk to the affair partner. This man freaked the heck out and was suddenly open to talking about it with me, as long as I don't message affair partner. I tell him that he needs to call her and tell her right now, or I'm going to contact her myself. He ends up calling her, and she's angry of course and wants nothing to do with him. That's the point where he becomes devastated. He's all of a sudden crying and hating me for making him do this. Imagine finding out your partner of 5 years cheated and is only upset that their relationship with the affair partner is over. The worst part is that I begged him to stay and try to work it out, but he's so angry at me that he says he doesn't want anything to do with me. How am I the bad guy here? Or was making him tell affair partner taking things too far? My self-esteem is in hell right now. Today, I asked him one more time if he wants to work it out. He said no. I packed my things and left while he was in the shower. When he noticed, he called me and started saying, I thought you wanted to work it out. WTF. I have no idea what to think and why it took me leaving for him to suddenly care about me. I'm so sad. Now for the comments. Why are you staying or trying to make things work? You aren't his first choice. Seek therapy and realize you deserve better. I agree, I need therapy after all this. I really think you misunderstand. You don't need therapy after this. That is not what anybody is telling you. The therapy would be for figuring out why you are responding to this sort of treatment by pursuing this horrible person. People often have traumatic events occur with no need for therapy. It's only these maladaptive behaviors that cause them to seek things harmful to them that would be reason to seek therapy. So sorry this happened to you, but I have to ask, he's been cheating on you for 5 years. Why are you still trying to work it out? You need to get into therapy. Just because he's desired by other females doesn't make him a good person or mate. You're trying to fix this guy, and it's just not going to work. He's playing you for the steady home life and emotional, physical intimacy when he feels like it. Run away from this guy and speak with a therapist to see if you have codependency issues. Good luck. You're right. I feel like I'm codependent. I am honestly afraid of life without him. You're 23. You really want to live the next 50 to 60 years dealing with this nonsense. Please get into a therapist and find your self-worth. If you act like you have no value, people like your boyfriend will treat you like you're worthless. I'm starting to see that now. I definitely need therapy, lol.